Hey, how's it going? Ray Reese here. Ray Reese's rants, raves, reviews, and reactions. I wanted to respond to a question that I had received on my page in response to a meme that had been posted. And it was a meme that highlighted the number of COVID deaths that we had had to date and how it's just another news tidbit, in the news cycle, just with everything that's going on. The fact that we had 350,000 deaths at some point, in the past 2 weeks to a month, and it's gone like pretty much uncovered, unrecognized. And there was some discussion and or debate following the posting of that meme with regards to, who's at fault and who's, and I just want to make a couple of things clear. There's disagreement over what we should have done, and how we should have done it. And that's understandable because of how things have been handled by the powers that be. And so, somebody was asking me, somebody asked directly, well, what would I have done? What would I have done instead? And that answer is a little more complex, but I'm going to try to keep it as concise as possible. So, what would I do? What would I have done? So I want to make a couple of things clear first. One, neither myself nor anybody that I know blames Donald J. Trump for the pandemic existing. We do not believe he started the pandemic. We don't believe he's at fault for the pandemic. We do, however, believe that he and anybody else in the federal government needs to be held responsible for their actions in the face of the pandemic. We do not blame Donald J. Trump for the pandemic. That's one. Two, I am not a government official. I don't have access to the same information that they would have had and when they would have had it, so on and so forth. So, my responses aren't going to be based on direct government knowledge, but on having seen what other governments have done and having seen what worked, what didn't work. Also, I'm not an epidemiologist. And so I can't really comment expertly on the science of the pandemic, but I can, however, respond according to what these scientific experts have said. So, what would I have done instead? So there's three different answers to that. There's three different layers of that, and I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. What has been successful for other countries, what has made other countries successful in this fight against the pandemic, is essentially antithetical to our very being. What other states have been able to do is had a uniform national response. The federal government has been able to say, hey, do this, everybody. And you didn't have a choice. There were no states' rights, which is what makes us different, is that we have states and we have states' rights and we have these, different things because that's how we were founded. We weren't founded as a country. We were founded as these little state-sized civilizations within this mass of a continent. Eventually, we had enough state-sized communities that we bonded together to form a union, and then so on and so forth, and then United States of America, right? of course, I'm skipping over a lot there, but from a government perspective, the governors would not be able to defy the federal government. You're at the mercy of the ineptitude of your governor. You have to hope that this non-expert on whatever is plaguing the nation, you have to hope that this non-expert can somehow make decisions that are as good as and in line with the national global experts, which by the very nature of their job, they're not. Like I said, with regards to like gun control and the war on drugs, you can't have these pockets of conformity. You have to have some sort of uniform standard. Anyway, moving on. Working with this, saying this is what we have. We have states and we've got governors and we got what I would have done with the current government that we have, I would have shut everything down. I would have shut down at bare minimum international travel, and nobody could have come back. Nobody could have come into the United States, American citizens or otherwise, until we had testing in place. Meaning they get off the plane. They can't even get into the airport until they are tested. So all of that, testing, contact tracing, so on and so forth. Nobody comes in until we have that. And then when we do have that in place, it's just American citizens who are coming back to stay, who live here. You're not visiting grandma. You're coming and you're staying. And you're not doing all this back and forth, right? That's one. I would have shut down interstate travel unless you are an essential whatever, truck driver and you got a, postal service, blah, 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 right? Would have shut all of that down. Yeah, so I would have shut down interstate travel. I would have shut down international travel. And I wouldn't have disbanded the pandemic response unit. But I wouldn't have done that either. Number one thing, and just the most important thing, listen to the scientists. Follow the scientists' directions. Even if you're not going to make states, you're not going to rain down fire upon states for. Back the scientists. Get the governors, get the people to be on the side of the scientists. Don't make the scientists our enemies. This is why we have this divide now. The reason why we have people who think that it's a hoax is because we have somebody at the federal level who thought it was a hoax. Somebody who is not qualified to do nearly anything has determined that this was a hoax. And then when they found out it wasn't a hoax, when they realized, oh man, this is really bad, they covered it up so that the people wouldn't panic. Because apparently, death is better than panic. You can't panic if you're dead. So, and this is not opinion, this is what happened. The dude is on tape saying, hey, this is pretty bad. He was on video saying, hey, it's going to blow over in April. Where he was like on tape, like, no, it's not. This is pretty bad, right? So just don't do that. Just tell the American people, like, listen, this is pretty nasty. We've got to do this, so on and so forth. And then if you have people that break away, that's on them. But we shouldn't be fractured. We shouldn't be at this 50-50 split where you got like these people who follow this guy just are just not going to abide by the scientific standard. And then this half of the country who doesn't follow that guy, does follow. It's just like, no, we need uniformity. It can't be 50-50, 80-20, okay. But this 50-50 is effing up the 50 who are trying to stay safe, right? So if I were in Washington right now, I would shut everything down. I would quarantine everybody until we can just fit. I would shut everything down. I would give everybody money. I would bail out the businesses. So yeah, wars, we can find the money. Tax breaks for the rich, we can find the money. Bailouts for billion-dollar corporations, we can find the money. But, Sammy and Tony's pizza shop, oh, we can't. The mom with like 2 kids, oh, we can't enable, people. It's going to give them an incentive to not work. Says the people who are literally living off of our taxes. Like you're getting paid. I don't even want to go in. I'm not going to go into that. I would, right now, you put me in Washington, I would shut everything down. Everybody wears a mask. Everybody stays the fuck in the house. Everybody gets money that needs, it starts, or it start with the people the most in need. The poor folk, the entry-level essential worker people, they would get money. The people that was working 2 and 3 jobs, they're getting money. Anybody who's already, working and literally needs to work, they're getting money. Somebody who makes $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, I'm not saying that they can't get money, but they don't get it first. I'm not saying that Amazon can't get money, but they are the last draft pick. They don't even get a draft pick in the first 6 rounds. They're the last draft pick in the 7th round because they don't even pay taxes. So, yeah. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. Comment on the page. And also, yeah, the page is Ray Reese's Rants, Raves, Reviews, and Reactions. It is not Ray Reese is right and the rest of y'all are wrong. I look forward to pushback. I look forward to debate, dialogue, alternative opinions. And, just even, like I said, just hearing what everybody else has going on. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good one. See you. Bye-bye.